Okay, so this accent wall really is not going to see any water. But the backboard that I installed was Durock, and it's a cementitious backer board. And also, I'm giving it a coat of a couple of coats of Aqua Defense, even though it's really not in a wet area. You might get a little splash from the tub, but it's really not in a wet area. I like to coat it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives a nicer surface to tile over. Number two, because the backboard is very thirsty, if you don't coat it, it just sucks the moisture right out of the thin set. So applying a couple of coats of Aqua Defense, which is a waterproofing membrane, and a cleavage membrane or a crack isolation membrane. So what that does is it helps maintain the moisture in the thin set as you're installing the tile, and stops the backboard from drawing the moisture out of the thin set as you're working. It gives you a little more time to be able to work. You always have to be careful that the thin set doesn't skin over or dries before you can get the tile on it. This actually helps. And then the other reason that I do it is because this is actually a crack isolation membrane, and because the mosaic tile that I'm putting up is actually a glass stone mix. I like to have the cleavage membrane underneath so it absorbs a little of the movement that's present in the wall and avoids cracks. So that's a couple of reasons that I like to do it. Don't have to install waterproofing if you don't want, but I think it's a good idea. Actually, some manufacturers actually do. Some glass tile manufacturers actually recommend that you do this, but this tile is actually a glass stone mix, so it's not really absolutely necessary, but it can't hurt. So as you can see here, I installed a ledger board so that I'm going to leave it at the bottom row of tile, and I set the ledger board so that once I get my Dietrich heat mat down and the tile, it's going to be at the height of a full tile. So all I have to do is just get that sheet of mosaic tile, cement, spread some cement and just place it in. And the only two cuts I'll have to make will be at the door jamb and at the where it meets the other wall. So this particular mosaic tile, as I said, is a stone glass tile mix, and the top surface of the front of the tile is actually not very flat at all. It's actually quite rough. Some of the tiles protrude above the surface of the tile, and it gives a really rustic, rough, uneven look. You want to make sure that you really press it in and get the tile to embed into the thin set. What I usually do is get a float and use my rubber float to press the tiles into the thin set. And you want to get as good coverage as possible, so you want to use the correct size trowel, and the trowel you're going to use is not too big that when you place the tile into the thin set that it's going to squeeze through the grout joints, but big enough so that the back of the tile gets good coverage and is well embedded into the thin set. So if you're not careful with these mosaic tiles, what can happen is you can get a bow in the wall. So to avoid that, I'm using my laser level as a reference line so that I know that I'm keeping a straight level line as I move up the wall. Now what I do is I go up a couple of rows at a time with the laser level so that I have that reference line all the time to make sure that I'm keeping the tile straight. If you don't have a level line, a laser, you can use just a regular level and put a pencil line or a line that chalk line so that you can see that you're keeping your tiles straight and level and even. Okay, so as I'm going along, as I get a few sheets up, I got these little wedges that I'm putting in between the sheets to help maintain an even grout line. The tiles, the grout lines within the sheets themselves are not absolutely perfect. But you want to try and, keep it somewhat even so it looks decent. Uh, this tile is supposed to have kind of a rustic look, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want to make it look nice. So because there's only 2 cuts need to be made on this wall at the jam, I just start with a straight cut, and then when I get to the corner wall, I just measure the tile, the length it needs to be, mark it, and then I'm just going to take it to my wet saw and cut it. So the backing that keeps these tiles together can sometimes be a problem. On some mosaic tiles, once the backing gets wet, the tiles can quickly come loose and fall off of the mesh. Others, it's not affected by water, so you're just going to have to make a cut and see what happens. In any case, you want to make sure that you dry the tile before you stick it on the wall, because if you put a wet tile on the wall, a lot of times the adhesive won't transfer to the tile and adhere to the wall. So you want to make sure you dry it off before you stick it on the wall. And even more so if the backing makes the tile come loose when it gets wet. So just try it out and see what happens. So as you can see, just keep on going, work your way up the wall, cut around the if you've got like an electrical box, you just cut around it. It doesn't have to be perfect because the faceplate will cover the cuts, so you just have to make sure that any cuts that you make will be buried under the faceplate. So just keep on moving along and install your tile with 1 or 2 rows at a time until you get to the top. And you'll also notice that I always have the trowel lines of my thin set always go on even in one direction. So there's no swirls and there's no back and forth. It's always either, most of the time it's just like straight up and down. And the reason for that is because it promotes optimal coverage of the thin set. Okay, so this is a sealer that I'm going to use for my tile. Okay, so because this tile is a natural stone, it's actually a natural stone glass mix, I'm going to seal it. And what that does is protects the tile. It stops the tile from getting stained if there should be any bleed through of dyes in the grout. It'll make it easier to clean, and it'll help with the haze. And then also, once it's all finished, it'll help it from getting stained once the bathroom is in use. So it's actually very easy to put on. You just wipe it on, let it sit for a few minutes, usually 3 to 5 minutes, and then you just wipe it off. These grout sealers also will work as a grout release, and because this is very rough tile, it's a very uneven surface. That will also help with cleaning the tile as you wash it. Okay, so the only thing left for this wall is to grout. Now, generally, grout lines an 1/8 of an inch or less will get unsanded grout. Grout lines an 1/8 of an inch or more will get sanded grout. So the the grout lines that are an eighth can go either or, but generally I like to use a standard grout on the grout lines that are an eighth of an inch, unless there is a reason not to use standard grout, like a delicate tile that would get scratched by the sand in the grout. So when you choose a grout, you're going to have to decide on whether you're just going to go with a standard grout, or you're going to use a standard grout and put an additive in it to make it stain resistant, or get an advanced grout. A lot of the advanced grouts don't come in unsanded, so if you've got a delicate tile that can be scratched by the sand in the grout, then you're going to have to make a decision on whether you want to take a chance or use something else, which would be unsanded. But basically what you do is you're going to use your float on a low angle to push the grout into the grout lines, and then you're going to scrape off as much as possible by breaking the grout across the tile at a very high angle to get off as much as possible.